यदि तपाईले अहिलेसम्म यस च्यानललाई सब्स्क्राइब गर्नुभएको छैन भने प्लिज सब्स्क्राइब गरिदिनु होला र साइडको घन्टीलाई पनि एकचोटी बजाइदिनु होला।
Namaste. For the preservation, recording and enhancement of Nepalese culture, history and heritage. Today we are at the Jit Gadi, Jit Fort. The original name is Butol Fort. Look at, this is a cannon fort, well-built cannon fort. And it is the platform for the cannon movement. And it's a firing base. If you lay here one cannon, you can fire either from this side, the straight side, and the right side also. So, well built. And moreover, this is very interesting. It's a bricks-made fort. Bricks-made. Otherwise, all of the Nepalese fort have been built by the stone, big stone. And it has been faced toward the southern side, so that the appreciation for the countering against the would-be adversary was toward the southern side. So also the people say this fort was built by the Sen King dynasty. It might be true, it is true, I could say it. But so far, it was remodified, reconstructed again, because the cannon path is a very wider, and the firing base is for the very big cannons. So during the time of the king Mani Mukunda Sen the first, I don't think they had so big cannons at that time, so that this fort must be readjusted. And I have seen here there is underground the barracks. It's there. Almost many people they could stay inside under the ground, because it's the fort over the plain areas, so that the troops used to be stay inside the bunker over here. It's a well-built areas. So it's a cannon fort and used during the Anglo-Nepal War in Butol front. And it is just connected with the bank of Tinau River. And this side used to be called and still called the Butol, Batauli. The other side is Khasauli, and in between Tinau River. So any adversary's movement would have been taken via this Tinau banks. So this fort directly covers the Tinau areas, and it was the main lifeline from India, Nautanwa, Bhairahava, Butol, this fort, and Palpa to many northern side, Parbat, Baglung, Pokhara, and other many big areas. The people used to travel for the trade, for the pilgrim trips, for the job opportunity, and many with many aims. So and of course it was the capital of the Mani Mukunda Sen, the first Sen king of this Sen dynasty. They arrived from the India. Originally they were from India. They were from the India. So his son Vinayak Sen, then Jasu Sen, then his generation, direct generation, Vinayak Sen, Jasu Sen, Balbhadra Sen, Amar Sen, Gandharva Sen, Udyot Sen, Mukunda Sen, and finally Pritipal Sen was the last king of the area. So I might be Mani Mukunda Sen or other king, Sen king, might have built this fort. It's very possible. And also there are several forts over the hilltop, namely Nuwakot Fort, and Nuwakot Fort is small, Baldang Fort, Bakmi Fort, and many forts over here. They were built during the Sen King dynasty. And later on, while the Nepal was about to be confronted against British, so that it was renovated for the artillery fort. And after the Sen dynasty, this Palpa kingdom was annexed into Nepal during the time of the King Ranabadur Shah and the Commander-in-Chief Bhimsen Thapa, because it was the last portion of Nepal was annexed into Nepal, because the Prince Bahadur Shah, who was the unifier leader from Kaski to Satluj, almost to up to Kangra, big warrior, big fighter. He led that all campaigns, and his father-in-law was the Pritipal Sen of the Palpa state. So he did not attack, he did not made offensive against the Palpa kingdom. Moreover, he handed over several small principalities to the Palpa kingdom, and the Palpa kingdom very honestly supported during the unification campaign up to the Kumaon. The Palpa supported by the guns, bullets, rations, the troops. Palpa sent many troops for the recruitment. So it was big supporter. It kept a good relation with the southern Nawab also. So Bahadur Shah, he was lucky to get support from his father-in-law, the king, the last king of the Palpa. At the end, while the Prince Bahadur Shah was prisoned, and he was alligated with many things, and he was in jail and killed by the conspiracy. It is obvious. After that, with the joint plan of the Commander-in-Chief Bhimsen Thapa and the King Ranabadur Shah, they called King Prithipal Sen to Kathmandu. Is a fraud marriageal purpose. While Prithipal Sen arrives at Kathmandu, so immediately his securities were killed and he was jailed in Patan. Immediately, within the 2-3 days, then Bhimsen Thapa sent his father, General Amar Singh Thapa. I say General Amar Singh Thapa, to capture the Palpa kingdom, Palpa palace. We had two Amar Singh Thapa in the Nepalese history. One was the senior Amar Singh Thapa. He was Bada Kaji Amar Singh Thapa. He was a real hero. The next Amar Singh Thapa was the General Amar Singh Thapa, father of Bhimsen Thapa. So, the father of Bhimsen Thapa, the second general of Nepalese history, Amar Singh Thapa, he arrives Palpa, and he started governing over these areas, the previous Palpa areas. And the second administrator was the Colonel Vijay Singh Thapa in this area, who was the war hero, the battle hero of Anglo-Nepal War. And why the Anglo-Nepal War took place? It is obvious that British wanted to get wealth from Nepal and Tibet as well. So they wanted to go Tibet, Peking and Mongolia via Nepalese territory, from Nathula Pass of Sikkim, from Kalapani, Limpuyadura of present Nepal. So all the axes were blocked by Nepal. So they were very anxious to get access to go to Tibet. So they were waiting for some cause, some suitable cause to launch attack against Nepal. So General Amar Singh Thapa and the the British administrator, the security guards had some problems over the issue of the territory of the Butol and the Kapilvastu, Shivaraj areas. So finally, it could not be solved by the negotiation, and few British governing areas and their securities were killed by Nepalese attack, and it was the ignition for the Anglo-Nepal War. And for this cause, the Britishers, the East India Company, declared war against Nepal on 1st November 1814. So, I have some gray area if General Amar Singh Thapa could have done some diplomatic negotiation with the Britishers regarding this the territory of Butol and Kapilvastu Shivaraj, might be the Anglo-Nepal war would have been pushed back, and Nepal could have bought some times. It's my speculation, but I cannot blame to General Amar Singh Thapa. Yes, it happened. The war started. So Nepalese army started deploying its troops against the Britishers, invaders, from Sikkim, Tista River to Satluj River. And one of the battlefront was this Butoli areas, Palpa areas, led by very young General Colonel Ujit Singh Thapa. He was just 22 years old, very young lad. And for the capturing of these areas, Palpa areas, the Britishers started marching, and the main commander was Division Commander Major General Sullivan Wood, who led almost 13,000 fighting troops. And his concepts of operation was where the first was he wanted to indoctrinate his troops, induction of his troop in Banaras area, and the second, his plan was to clear the minor opposition of the Nepalese minor opposition in area of Butol and Kapilvastu. Then he wanted to capture Palpa at any cost and to induct the many thousand troops in Palpa in order to capture Kathmandu. And he had also the aim to link up with the Major General Marley's troop of Makwanpur, finally to capture Kathmandu. And his plan was providing the flanking support towards Major General Marley's troops in Chitwan areas. So, in this area, in this front, he started launching multi-directional attack from Shivaraj, present Kapilvastu areas, Shivaraj, Baldang, Fort areas. The second column was marching towards Nuwakot, Gadi area, just 3 kilometers and 4 kilometers from the northern side. And the final column was marching from this Tinau area up to the hilly side, calls up to the down areas. So the main front of the Major General Wood was down to Kapilvastu. So while they were marching their troops for the capturing of Palpa from several axes, the major front was this Tinau areas, and their guide, the Kanak Mani Tiwari, the ex-minister of the Palpa kingdom, he was the main advisor and the informant. He was leading. So this fort was vacant at that time. All the troops were under the ground, inside the bunker. So almost it was vacant. So the Britishers thought that this fort was not manned by any Nepalese troops. So they were freely marching via this Tinau river, and in the meantime, Nepalese troops started firing by the cannons and the rifles. Many, almost 150 British and British army, they killed over here in the Tinau river. And from every sector, Nepalese started firing. And the Britishers were under control, not control, out of the control, correction, out of the control, from every areas, from Nuwakot areas and this area, and they started deserting, they started fleeing from here. And they fallen back to the Indian side. Even the Major General Wood, he fled. While he went back to, he reached Patna, he was sacked by the Governor General. It was big event. And moreover, I would like to remind you that Major General Wood was very weak-hearted. He was like a coward. Even he delayed 2 weeks in advance. He was not willing to fight against the Gurkhas. Again he delays 5 weeks. So total 7 weeks he delays. In the meantime, Nepalese army made huge preparation in the plain areas, in the mountain areas, so that it was big advantage for the ambushing of the British troops. So it was big advantage. Finally, in the battle of this Jitgadi, Butolgadi, the five British officers plus Kanak Nidhi Tiwari, the minister of ex-Palpali king, and other 130 people, total 136 British armies were killed here. So it was the victory point. It was the bravery of the Nepalese army, and it was the symbol of bravery of the Colonel Ujjwal Singh Thapa. It's a pride of Nepal. I would like to remind you that the history of the Butol Gadi or Jit Gadi and the history of the Nuwakot Gadi and the Nuwakot Gadi Ismail are the same. So later on, we'll be just describing about the Nuwakot Gadi and the Nuwakot Gadi Ismail in general only. So what was the Nepalese side, the design of battle? So the Nepalese design of battle was to cover for the defense battle from the Beri river from the west to the Narayani river in the eastern side. It was also big front. So Colonel Ujjwal Singh Thapa was the main commander. His main headquarters was at the Palpa Palace, and the tactical headquarters he created at the Nuwakot Fort, and he stayed at Nuwakot Fort, and his subordinate commanders were the namely Kazi Birbhanjan Pandey, Lieutenant Amar Adhikari, Kumbedan Kripasur Thapa, Dalakhamba Thapa, Samser Rana Magar, Sarvajit Rana Magar, so and so. So many subordinate he had, and he was given approximately 3,000 troops to fight the defensive battle in this front. So he deploys his troops as at the Nuwakot, the big fort, almost 900, and at the Nuwakot small fort, that was the artillery fort. So he deploys almost 100 at the small fort, so that in the Nuwakot area almost 1,000. Then after in the Jitgad here almost 300 to 400 troops here in the Jitgad, and almost 500 troops in Shiraz and Baldang Gadi areas, and almost 300 troops was sent for the delaying action, delaying battles as snipers and so on. So, and about 1,000 troops was designated as a reserve in the Palpa area. So total 3,000 troops he was commanding, and his main aim was to make delaying battle and defensive offensive battle and the luring battle from in the plain areas with the delaying actions. The main killing ground was in the mountain areas, in the Palpa and Nuwakot and the Ballangadi areas. It was the main killing ground. They were the main killing ground with the many multiple ambushes. Jai Katak, Nagarnu, Jeki Katak Garnu. So, and also providing flank protection towards the troops of the Chitoni areas under command of Colonel Ranabir Singh Thapa. So it was the battle, designed a battle of Nepal. At the end, the Nepalese also killed almost 70 people. So it was big loss. Finally, this fort is the symbol of bravery. The winner of the victor of the Nepalese side against the Britishers. The Suleiman Wood Major General, he fled from this front. Finally, he was sacked after the court-martial in India. So, the bravery of this fort remains for a long time. I also would like to remark, I also would like to comment on the British history. That is why the British writers, Britisher, did not mention about the battle of this front, the battle of Makwanpur front and battle of Vijaypur front, and the commanders like Colonel Ujit Singh Thapa, Colonel Ranabir Singh Thapa, Kazi Bakhtabari Singh Thapa, they were the victor. The Britisher have not praised them. It's a grey area they have made it, because this commander 100% defeated the Britishers at that time. We have got that proof. So they wanted to write in details their defeated history in the British military history. On the other hand, contrastly, where the Nepalese side defeated from Satluj River to Kali River, we say Mahakali River, we lost that. The British are defeated us. We should not hesitate to mention about the reality. So within this area, the battles, the commanders, they had been praised by the Britishers. Very much praised. Very goldenly. They have written by the golden alphabets, because that part was the victory of the Britishers. If somebody wants to be victor, the great victor, so in the battle psychology, in the war psychology, the commanders makes his opponent as a brave fighter. Then after, he becomes the bravest of the brave. Look at, I repeat again, if I defeat my adversary, I will write him as a brave. Then after, to defeat to the brave becomes bravest of the brave. So it was the very jittering tactics of the British writers. So please, the Nepalese historian, you have to review our Anglo-Nepal Wars history. Please, we should not copy only the British writers' history. It was get consent from the Defense Ministry of the United Kingdom at that time. So, it is not justifiable. Let us try to write, review, and renew our Anglo-Nepal history. It's a statue of Colonel Ujjit Singh Thapa. He was the commander of this front who defeated almost 13,000 British troops over these areas. So it is what phrasing his war tactics. Even present day, we have to learn from him his defensive offensive battle, his dealing battles, his multiple ambushes. So he was the bravest of the brave. Finally, I salute him. He was the history maker. He was the hero of in the military staff of Nepal. He is a Martyrs of Nepal. I really salute him. Thank you very much.